I mean, I think at some point we're gonna get I can think of some. I feel like we can really have a niche for like. We're sponsored by like inner city companies.
No, you know who I want
like Kennedy's Fried Chicken.
I want to get the
Western Union.
I want to get that head shaver that fucking turned off the internet that one Super Bowl, whatever that shit was called. That's
Skull shaver, bro.
Yeah, bro. One time I was in the city and that shit was on a giant billboard on like 9th Ave. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He has bread, bro. Welcome to the Joystick Show, episode 240. I'm sorry, I just went like sonar mode.
Yeah, I was gonna say wolf, but that wasn't even.
Nah, I was picking up like submarines and shit. That's what I was going for. Welcome to the podcast. This is we're Team Joystick, your friendly neighborhood Let's Play YouTubers who haven't made a Let's Play in like 2 years, but all good.
That's how it is.
New formula, apparently. We just make podcasts. Well, in fact, we're actually going to rename the podcast. This is the podcast that needs fucking new everything, because every like we hide it pretty well. Like the frames you see are decent, I would say. You know, probably in my opinion, probably like 8 out of 10 in terms of YouTube quality standards. But everything around us is falling apart. Like,
I mean, honestly, we're going to have a redesign just based solely on us buying a bunch of new shit. Like,
it's not even that we want it to look cooler or better. Right. It's purely out of necessity.
Like our sign had three takes to put up the sign just because of how it works. The TV every couple of minutes
it's gonna blink
like that thing. Like what?
The ball, we have a giant orb of light that is for 240 episodes has somehow suspended above us.
The fact that we haven't made a thing out of the fucking orb is insane. That we don't have like some lore about it. Yeah. Like no one can see it. I think that's why.
But the orb, there's a giant orb above us that somehow has not fallen on us, despite the fact that every time we set up, it manages to fall. So we're one day we're gonna fix all of this. Is what I'm getting at. But yes, sorry about that. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick before we get into the YouTube mumbo jumbo is as we are filming this, it is currently Knicks-Celtics Game 6.
Yes.
It's a very important moment for New York sports fans. Mm-hmm. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because, A, we chose not to have the game on in the background, so at the end of the episode we can pleasantly or maybe unpleasantly surprise ourselves. Mm-hmm. But also, B, as a warning, my father is watching the game upstairs. My mom is not in the house. So he's going to be yelling anytime the Knicks score a basket. He might even yell whenever the Celtics score a basket, just out of pure, like, you know,
adrenaline.
Rage. But I just apologize in advance. It will happen. There's no way it doesn't. Just letting you know. Okay, that being said, like this episode of The Joystick Show. Subscribe to Team Joystick. Help us out. We love the support. Follow the socials. It's going to be a fun one. Alrighty. Right off the bat, I say that every episode. I gotta stop that. I've been telling myself mental note, like stop with the right off the bat bullshit. But right off the bat, because we're watching baseball. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? What's
chilling,
new what's new with y'all?
Me, just been up to a bunch of nerdy shit, man.
Yeah,
what constitutes nerdy shit?
My PlayStation broke.
Yeah, this upset me, man. So is this like the end of PlayStation
I don't know.
Jerry, man?
I told Andy that, and he was like, "You should just like trade it in a GameStop." You know, they won't know, really.
Dude, I think we got to start a group fund to get Jerry back his PlayStation. We have to start a group fund on the channel to get the most financially stable person in our friend group another PlayStation. That's, you know what, guys? This is the GoFundMe link. We're gonna start it.
But I just found out the coolest thing, right? So to update, I got a graphics card to replace it, right? Because I was like, let me just get a graphics card, put it in the computer, right? Level it up. Now I got a gaming thing, and now I don't have to buy the PlayStation 6 or whatever the hell comes next, right? Mm-hmm. But I just found out yesterday. I was talking to Jose. I don't know if you saw the screenshot up in the chat. You can play PC games on your phone.
Like you can use your phone as a screen, or
it streams the game to your phone.
Weird.
Yeah. And it doesn't like lag. I was like surprised.
You play like on a remote, like
yeah,
Bluetooth
you could, Or you could, like those.
Have, like, discrete
yeah, you could do that.
That's what I was thinking at first. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm confused. That's very interesting.
Like, what games are we talking about here?
Everything.
That's what I'm saying. Literally everything. I was playing Halo on my phone.
What the fuck? Interesting.
Yeah, you have to have obviously like really fast internet, but it's
but
a thing.
I'm keeping sad about this, man. We haven't played a game in a long time. I just look at my friends list, and it's like me standing outside of the rainy window, just like looking down on the street.
It doesn't help that every day I play MLB offline for like 1 hour or two, but it's like, I forget to go back online. Oopsies, but yeah.
That's the first yell of the night.
That was more than a yell. That was like a proclamation.
That was like a little song he made. We'll keep a counter. That was number 1. But there you go. But yeah, I'm upset, man. I'm gonna fucking.
I mean, I can play like old games. Like we could play fucking Rocket League and shit.
I deleted Rocket League.
Oh,
I had
damn.
to make space for
Bobby, already.
I had to make
every time.
I had to make space.
Rocket League has like a 2-week window where it's on your console and
I'll
it's gone.
explain why. Okay, don't worry. There's a whole explanation.
Can't you put the PS4
Guys,
games?
stay tuned for Bobby's riveting Rocket League deletion explanation. It's
I can play like Minecraft.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, Joey's been dying for us.
Yeah, Joey's been feeding. The fucked up thing is I've been playing just without him.
No,
I'm like halfway done with the blast.
Joey like beat the game for me. Like
yeah, like honestly, I've gone to a point where like you guys could just join my world, go in my chests, and get like all the trophies that I have. The only thing we need to actually do is fucking
all the
fight
nether
the dragon.
shit. Yeah, and I think I have like the wool too, so it's like I think that we just have to do that together. I'm down for that one day.
One last party session.
We gotta plan that shit. Honestly, we're adults. We gotta plan.
No, we gotta plan this.
Honestly,
and we barely get it right every week.
Honestly, we should wait until I move out to do that, and then I get to have my fiance be like, "What the fuck are you doing? you're fighting the end." It's like, oh, we did the nether. Now we have to do the end.
Yeah,
and
this
it's
is
like
whole different.
wait, is that a thing?
What?
Is that just the dragon the end, or is that like a separate thing?
No, the dragon is the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like.
I mean, there's like new stuff now.
There's like other stuff to do in the nether.
It's not
That's
for
just
the platinum.
Right.
The nether's annoying. Not to go on a whole fucking Minecraft tangent, but there's like what's supposedly an easy trophy to kill the ghast with its own tier, where you just like deflect the thing back.
Back in the day, that was so easy.
Can't fucking find one at all. I've been in the nether for like almost an hour, and then these fuckers, because they added like all these new biomes to the nether. There's all these like little fucking evil forests. I don't know what you call them. But it sucks because I'm just trying to find one enemy type and I can't. But
you got to go travel in a long time.
And I'm afraid because I'm gonna die and lose all my stuff. But
yeah,
put your stuff in a chest.
But if we had friends, or rather, if I had friends, it'd be better. But yeah,
together.
Fucking point is,
monkey strong.
We will rebuild. We will regroup. We will come back from this somehow. And
I mean, that's kind of good that the biggest like rift in our friendship is that.
Jerry's PlayStation.
Jerry's PlayStation bricks. I mean, my PlayStation brick. Then
have you tried to play like Marvel since or?
I haven't like lately. Like because that week that it was like heating up. That week that it first happened, it was like really hot outside.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's because
I don't know. I feel like you buy an AC, you cool the room down.
No, I don't know. I feel like with me, like I got a whole new PS5 for this, and then sold my old PS. Like I got my old PS5 fixed, sold that, and then now I'm just using a PS5 Slim, and it's like there was no saving that shit. I just even fixing it. It was like if I didn't have the warranty.
Bro, Dylan always finds a way.
Yeah. I would have sold my shit.
Dylan always finds a way. Discount Dylan.
I mean, I still lost money in the end.
Yeah, that's your new nickname, by the way. Yeah. Discount Dill.
Discount Dill.
Yeah, I like it. Dilly the kid came to town.
Lucky I'm not a certain ethnicity.
I wanted to make the joke. We've made the joke for years, long before we learned about your fiscal responsibility. But yeah, I mean, I bought you the Hanukkah shirt. Or sweater, rather.
Yeah, not a great look, by the way.
No, that's a great look.
That's not a great look.
I mean, these days, probably not. But
not the actual
in
thing.
2022, that was a great Christmas sweater. I'll tell you that much. But these days...
Like, even the look of it was like green and yellow. Like, what a sweater. Like, way to,
That's what I'm here for.
I'm going to match it with everything I own.
I'm going to get you a Palestine onesie. There you go. We'll balance it out. Palestine Snuggie.
We gotta stop. We gotta cut it off here. We really do. There's some shit going on. We can't.
Because this is the podcast people are watching. This is the one that's gonna get fucking.
I'm gonna fly to Greece in September, in August or whatever.
I forgot about this. Yes,
I'm gonna come back and they're gonna be like, on episode 240 of the Joystick show, you said that you were selling a Palestine snuggie.
Dylan did bring this up last episode about how like a lot of these fucking YouTubers and TikTokers are getting pulled over.
No, and literally, not only was it became a joke, and I'm not even going to talk about that now. I'm going to talk about a few months ago how the former Cumtown Boys reunited and talked about how they lost their Blue Chew sponsorship.
Yes, that's hilarious.
Because they said that basically that they were riding that Hamas took Blue Chew and rode Mario Karts into Oktoberfest. With boners, essentially. Yes, that was the implication. And then Blue Chew had to cancel their sponsorship.
So you're aware of the big Israeli terrorist attack that happened.
Yeah.
So basically Nick Mullen on their podcast basically said, shout outs to Blue Chew, and then insinuated, like Dylan said, that the Hamas terrorists were on Blue Chew and then rode Mario Karts into the music festival, which is... It's the funniest fucking thing out of context.
Like I understand, guys. Like, come on, you're really gonna hate on that? But no, literally, like a bunch of other people. Like I know that the Adam Friedland show. I know it's like up in the air right now. They stopped doing it, but like they lost a bunch of sponsors. A bunch of podcasts are losing sponsors because of that sort of thing. And I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I mean, thank God we don't have sponsors. Yeah. Or viewers for that matter.
I mean, I think at some point we're gonna get I can think of some. I feel like we can really have a niche for like we're sponsored by like inner city companies.
No, you know who I want
like Kennedy's Fried Chicken.
I want to get the
Western Union.
I want to get that head shaver that fucking turned off the internet that one Super Bowl, whatever that shit was called. That's
Skull shaver, bro.
Yeah, bro. One time I was in the city and that shit was on a giant billboard on like 9th Ave. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He has bread, bro.
Well, that's the thing. He's like, I'm gonna reinvest, and that reinvestment is billboards and Super Bowls.
The Crypto.com Center is now the Skull Shaver Center.
Those are big money. I don't know if you could do that. That's a lot of money.
You'd be surprised, bro.
That's a lot of money.
Skull Shaver guy had a Super Bowl commercial, so I'm
I don't know.
I mean, we're still talking about it to this day.
We are still talking about it. I think about it every day, man. Yeah, I'm not even bald, but I'm like, when I do go, Skull Shaver.
Do you think a Puppy Monkey Baby?
Oh my God. You just
what is that?
Puppy Monkey Baby. What was that even a commercial for?
It was like Mountain Dew, wasn't it?
I don't even remember.
Or like Doritos?
Maybe. It might have been like, it was something like a...
Jerry's like, what the fuck is Puppy Monkey Baby?
Yeah, there was like a weird commercial where that was the punchline.
I probably saw it and I just don't remember.
Yeah, it was like Hump Day level fucking memorable, but regardless... Dylan set me up for a pretty good segue there. Speaking of internet reunions.
I do have to take a phone call, but I will come back.
Now this sucks because I wanted to talk to Dylan. No. Fine, you know what?
No, you can set it up and then I'll come back in.
We're going to talk about the reunion later. I'm pivoting to something else that I can talk to Jerry about. And then when Dylan comes back, he can talk his 2 cents about it. So there we go. All right. So I've been playing a video game recently.
Uh-huh.
You know what? Hold on.
Oh, I know what the reunion is. Okay. I know what you're talking about now.
Here we go. All right. Whoa. Weird. The mic is so much higher. All right. So, fuck. Oh, this is... Okay. You'll get through it. Power through. Sorry if the audio is weird. I'm not Dylan. I've been playing a game. So I've been playing a game that came out recently.
Right.
But for some reason, before that game came out, I was like, I want to play an older game.
Okay.
So I downloaded that one. And oddly enough, I've been playing it more than the brand new game I just spent $70 on. Mm-hmm. And that is Watch Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
So, man, I got to be straight up. Look, I played Watch Dogs like once, maybe twice when that game came out. We were probably like, 16?
Yeah, you're like, oh, shit, I can hack stuff.
Exactly, right? And I'm not going to lie. I think part of it is, I think it's 2 things. I think it's growing up, you look back on it, and you see like all the obvious edge, and you're like, the game was trying to be so edgy.
He's like in a trench coat.
Exactly. And then another part is also like how I would argue the Watch Dogs games kind of got worse as they went on. Like Watch Dogs 2 isn't that much worse than 1, but then Legion was known as being like one of the worst newer games that's come out in a while. But going back into Watch Dogs 1, like honestly speaking, as a as a fully bloomed adult who's played a lot of games, I think it's got to be one of the better concepts that's ever been put into a game.
I think so too. I think that's why so many people were attracted to it, honestly.
We can do it for a chapter, I guess. So anyway, it's weird, right? It's weird. What does it feel like to see the game?
I'm probably gonna be like slightly out of focus, but it's okay.
But fucking no, we're talking about Watch Dogs,
Yeah,
and how I've been playing it. And I low key think, like I was basically saying back to Jerry, like there's like this weird perception, like we look back on Watch Dogs and it's like overly edgy, and the newer games weren't that good. So there's like, was Watch Dogs 1 as good as I remember it? And I think it's better than I remember it, honestly speaking.
You know what's funny? That now that you mention it, I'm remembering that I think Watch Dogs is one of the first games I played on PC, like at all.
Wow.
Like it was one of the, because it was back in those days where like you would still like torrent shit.
Yeah.
You know? So I got it. So I got it there, and I like it was that hype that I was like, oh, let me try to get it because I'm not gonna buy it, but I still want it. You know, like. So,
but no, yeah,
like,
the game
it lived up to the hype, kind of.
It's fantastic.
I think that's why maybe it was seen as like not that good, was because it was that kind of was known for that game. It was shown at E3 for like 4 years. It kept being shown, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be so good. And then it came out, and it wasn't as you couldn't hack into everything ever. You know,
I just think it wasn't GTA. You know?
Yeah, it wasn't GTA, and you couldn't like I'm gonna hack into the game itself. Like like they really not overhyped it, but people really got their mind to fucking expand on what it could be.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I do think it's one of the best like concepts for a game that was executed well. Like the idea of like, oh, you can hack everything at first sounds a little daunting, but then when they break down like what it is you can hack, when you can hack it, like car chases or like stealth stuff, it just works really well. The story's also like, it's not the best story in the world, but it's far from the worst. It's pretty gripping. I was like, oh shit, I forgot how like invested I used to be in this story in the world. So just big shout outs to Watch Dogs. I honestly forgot how much I really liked at least the first game, and I kind of want to try to platinum it now, even though it's like really difficult. Like the online servers are still technically up, but nobody really plays it. And and to mention, now to bring it back full circle about the Rocket League thing and why I had to delete Rocket League, is I actually mentioned it in the chat earlier that I was making space for the newest game that I just bought, which I'll get to in a few minutes. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll delete Watch Dogs to make space for it. And then when I beat this, I'll, go back to playing Watch Dogs. Turns out Ubisoft has this dumb fucking thing with their games where you have to put the save on like a cloud save thing. So when I deleted Watch Dogs, I deleted my save file with it and lost like 7 to 8 hours of progress. So I did all of that yesterday, just like got back to where I was. But I was like, now I can't delete Watch Dogs. So that's why I had to delete Rocket League and everything else off my console.
Wow.
So now it's like I can't delete it until I platinum it. Otherwise, it's like, what am I doing it for? At the very least, I'm going to try to get like the real grindy stuff so that, all the online shit, if I delete it, I could just download it back and just go for that. But point is, Watch Dogs good. All right, sub out. I'm tired of this. I hate this.
All right, so we're actually going to talk about more gaming. I wanted to just give a shout out to a game I've been playing.
Go ahead.
A game, a poker sensation game.
Yes.
That I feel like everyone's playing it now.
I'm not yet. I have to download it.
Yeah. So it's free this month and I think it's also on sale on Steam, and that's why it's really popping off right now. But Balatro, nominated for Game of the Year. Yep. One indie or whatever.
Can I just cut in real quick? I love the Balatro memes. I think they're
so fucking they're fucking great.
Like the idea that this shit, like everyone's addicted to Balatro is so funny.
Or just not only that, but just like people coming up with just random shit. Jerry sent me one that was like 3-tiered. It was literally like there was a meme there was a video from a different meme, a video from a different meme, all kind of fit in, beautiful. But yeah, it's just a fun, game to play. I mean, there's this like, I don't know, card games are in like their all-time high in my opinion. There's several new ones coming out. There's a blackjack game, which is kind of Balatro-esque. That's like an early access still. But fucking cards.
I'd even argue Blueprints is a card game. I mean, you literally, low-key. It's a deck builder. Like, you have a whole. Do they call it a deck or? They call it a pool. That's what they call it.
Yeah, it's basically a deck builder if you really think about it.
If you really think about it, it's a roguelike deck builder.
Then you got this one, Gloom and Bloom, coming out. That looks fun.
That looks fun. It's like a double.
Awesome. This guy was playing one the
always
other day.
always Devolver too. A lot of times,
Yeah.
publishing and helping us go.
They're just like indie.
Slay the Spire 2 is
point.
coming out probably end of the year.
Northern Lion was playing one. I saw him the other day. It was like a deck builder farming simulator, but like Tetris. So like the crops you build are in the Tetris.
Oh my, that's too much,
right?
That's literally every genre of game.
Exactly.
Fucking,
I was like, oh my god, but it's just like it's cool because games are getting so fucking
it's like
unique.
Yeah, it's like, what if we just took all of this? Would it work?
Yeah.
And it does.
And I know it's kind of like it's oddly lazy in a weird way to just feel like, oh, just mash everything together and make something new. But I did.
It is.
You know,
It's literally something new.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But oh shit, bases loaded for the Mets. Looky.
Ooh.
But I agree. Like card games are pretty hype. That's coming from someone who normally doesn't play them, and lately I've been fucking kind of getting into them too.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have to download Balatro because that is a pretty fun. It's almost like a fun, despite how strategic it is. Like you can also kind of turn off your brain for a while. You know what I mean? Like
it is one of those games that, like, despite it being so strategic, you can kind of already know, if you like, once you understand the game, what the math is.
What you're looking for,
you don't know the exact math, but you know it's like, oh, this will do that, and it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
Like, early on, you're like, this is like 7,000, ends up being like 7-8, and you're like, okay, I was close, you know.
Right.
Like, you kind of understand what's going on, but it is like one of those games, like, you can shut your brain off. The runs are like 30 minutes. If you're playing fast mode, it's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It's not a long time, a run. And if you do bad, just reset, you know. I think it's one of, like, the easier, you know, there is definitely, like, a gap to, like, fill that, like, oh, I have to, like, get better.
Yeah.
But it's one of, like, the easier deck builders. I feel like with, like, Slay the Spire, or even a game like Blueprints, where it was like, there was countless runs. I was like, fuck this. Yeah. Whereas this game, you really don't feel that, because it's like, you can kind of tell early on what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like Isaac, where you're like, reset, you know?
Yeah, a lot of replay value.
But shout outs to Balatro. Shout outs to, what's this guy's name? Loser Thunk or something like that? The guy who made it? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Local Thunk. One guy. Shout outs. Crazy.
One guy made it, and it continued. You know, it was also one of those games to...
I forgot what it was. I
early
saw
access.
His inspiration for it was like really interesting. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, it was like a piece of a game or something like that.
Yeah, like I think he played it and he was like, "Oh, I wish this was like a real thing," and then he made it.
And he made it for like his friends or something, and they were like, "This is good," you know.
Let me see if it just isn't like a development thing. Balatro was developed. I don't know. In an interview, he said he mostly plays online competitive games, and then he ponders roguelike games more than actually playing them.
He was in someone's Twitch stream or something like that.
Yeah, it was Northern Lion. Yeah, right here.
It was in Northern Lion
after
stream.
seeing the number of roguelike deck builders on Steam, and after watching a Twitch stream of Northern Lion playing Luck Be a Landlord, a slot machine themed roguelike, he was inspired to turn his Big 2 clone into a single player roguelike deck builder without online play. So apparently, like, his main focus was he was gonna make an online game or whatever, and he was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna make Balatro." Shout out to fucking Ryan, man. Northern Lion. He's out here fucking. He's the legend. He's the actual legend, bro.
The inspo.
I love NL.
And if you go on his wife's Twitter, he's living another life.
Yeah,
you know?
he's zesty in Northern Lion.
Yeah, he literally lives in Vancouver too, so he streams at literal like 6-7 a.m.
Yeah,
he's streaming. He literally streams in his morning, and then his kid comes home from daycare, and now he's a dad. Like, way to go, 10 out of 10.
Forgot he was talking to somebody. He's like, the kids are good. They're at school. I'm like, oh my god. But then he has like the funniest fucking highlights. But speaking of internet legends, and speaking of reunions, like I was gonna say before, Dylan so rudely took his business call.
Hey, there was. I thought there was an emergency. Turns out it was a minor emergency.
Thank God.
Yeah,
we're good.
Minor emergency.
So I'm talking, of course, about technically, I'm talking about the rebuild of Rooster Teeth, but specifically, I'm talking about the potential coming back together of one of Rooster Teeth's most popular subsidiaries, and that, of course, is Achievement Hunter. So I watched a pretty interesting video that came out not too long ago. Apparently, there's this guy, I forgot, I think his name is like Floppy Disk something.
Yeah. He lives in Austin.
Yeah, he lives in Austin. He's a big fan of Rooster Teeth, and he's been making a lot of content about the company, kind of like, you know, like, I don't know how to, the best way I could describe it is it feels kind of like paint explainer type content, but not using the paint explainer format. He's just kind of like, it's like breakdowns of stuff about Rooster Teeth.
Okay.
So he did one about like their offices and talked about all the different offices that they worked in and what they made in those offices and yada yada yada. But the video that I watched is he did kind of like a where are they now specifically for the Achievement Hunter members. So it was cool to see like all the different projects they're working on. Some of like this one girl went on to make like movies and now she's in Hollywood. They talked about Lindsay, who's like major voice actor now for Ruby and a bunch of other stuff. But what I found interesting is there's basically a lot of hints being thrown around that at the very least some former members of Achievement Hunter may be coming together to make something. It might not be Achievement Hunter again, but it something's in the works and it's pretty exciting for the fan base, especially knowing that like Jeff is involved, Gavin is involved. Ray is not involved specifically, but he did apparently like fund a bunch of like the new studio's equipment and furniture.
Yeah, he paid for all that.
So it's pretty cool to know that like he's still kind of like not like business side, but he's like supporting them, you know, because it always leaves the opening for them to do collaborations. And then speaking of collaborations, they recently did like a major Twitch stream where like everybody joined on to play that game Repo. It was like Ray and Gavin and Jeremy and Matt. So it's just pretty cool to see like all the OG guys together, and I want to see what else they make. You know, I want to see it come to fruition.
People are gonna watch.
And then to tie a little nice bow on it, Gavin and Jeff over at the Regulation Podcast, formerly known as Fuckface, they did an awesome video. They've recently, not super recently, it's been a few months. They kind of went into gameplay videos. So like once a week or maybe a month, they put out a little Let's Play. But what they decided to do for their 1 year anniversary is Jeff and Gavin did a nice little tour around Achievement City for the first time in like God knows how long. And man, it like one of the top comments on that video I found really funny. It was something along the lines of, it's really funny that I remember more about this stuff than Jeff and Gavin do, considering that they built it, you know?
I mean, I would say most members of the community know more.
Yeah.
Like it has been so long now since they made this content that they don't know what they made versus what they paid other people to make. They don't know what order they did the things in, where some people would tell you and be like, oh, this was 36 and that was 46. Like they know the order of events. They know Wipeout was like one of the first ones, and that really trajectory.
They'll like stumble across some like Let's Play that they did, and then they'll be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, word, bro.
And there's someone in the community that knows all the rules. They're like,
as a fan, it's like, how do you not remember this? This is the best thing ever.
Yeah, word.
But it's cool. And then another thing was like another one of the top comments was in the video, Jeff is mentioning to Gavin how he's like, I know a little bit about modern Minecraft, you know. When Millie graduated high school, we played a bit before she left to college. And then the top comment was like, in quotes, before Millie left to college, I can feel my bones turning to dust right now. Because Jeff's daughter was literally like, what, 8 the other day?
Yeah,
you know?
she was always like the little kid, and then...
But it's fucking...
Since they weren't, you know, she wasn't around.
When did Versus T start?
Pre-YouTube.
Damn. Yeah. Wait, so where did they were like on their own website?
So the story is that before they were Rooster Teeth, they were called Drunk Gamers, and they were gonna try to be like a gaming blog site back in like the early 2000s, like 02, 03. But they weren't making a lot of money, mainly because of like the name. Like developers didn't want to work with somebody whose like name insinuated any type of intoxicants back then.
Right.
So they changed to Rooster Teeth, and then they pivoted to making online content. And a lot of the people know them for making Red vs. Blue, which predated YouTube too. But technically, the first thing they ever made was a parody of like those old Apple like MacBook commercials on the white backgrounds, where like, remember the ones?
I'm a Mac, I'm a PC.
I'm a Mac, I'm a PC.
Oh yeah.
They did one of those with their member Gus, and it was actually like one of the very first viral videos on the internet. And it's so early that it went viral through email. Like people used to say, like this was before YouTube.
Yeah, there was no way of it. There was no
site to put it on. There's people like, yo, look at this.
And it takes 10 minutes to send.
Exactly. So they technically had like one of the very first viral videos. So they've always kind of had like their foot ahead of the game when it came to YouTube. So that's the whole spiel there. But
I found them through they did a obviously Bobby showed me Achievement Hunter side stuff later on, but I found them through a video promoting the Forge DLC in Halo 3. And which was like a huge deal. Like that like changed Halo. Like everyone could like create shit, and they literally had like a 6-minute sketch that like came with the DLC.
That's so cool.
So like I know that a lot of people found it through them because it was like a very popular.
Dude, not to go like on the topic, but not to go on a whole crazy tangent.
That was like 07, 08.
Achievement Hunter, as part of their Minecraft Let's Plays, as a stupid joke, Gavin built this tower called the Tower of Pimps. And it's literally just 4 gold blocks on an obsidian block.
Yeah, I know.
And it became this whole like icon, this thing. Minecraft actually put it in one of their tutorial updates. And then like Achievement Hunter played it as a Let's Play, not knowing that. And Gavin was just like digging around into a pyramid and found it. It was like, guys, what the fuck? And it was like they got recognized not just by Minecraft but by all these games that like know Rooster Teeth as being like pinnacle in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first time I heard of Rooster Teeth was probably without knowing was Red versus Blue. Yeah. I just didn't know it was like a group,
I'd argue the only other like YouTuber group that's like that is Game Grumps, where you'll see like nods to them in indie games and stuff like that. Little Eagle.
But even then, there's way more Easter eggs for like Rooster Teeth
100%,
stuff.
100%. But yeah, shout outs. Can't wait to see what's new for the Rooster Teeth fellas.
Yeah, that's hype.
Next thing I want to say, shockingly, is about video games. I left it for last because it's the actual game. It's the new one. It's fun. It's amazing. It's gory and it's bloody and it's metal and it's Doom. It's Doom. That's 2. There's another screen. It took a while.
Bro, I thought that was the TV. I was like, wait, the TV's muted.
So Doom the Dark Ages. That's right. It's finally come out. It's
Doom 3.
It's great. I have so many things. To be honest, it's not. I don't want to go on a whole thing about it. I'm only like 7 chapters in, so I still have a lot more game to play. I think there's 22 in change. One thing I thought was really interesting. I didn't even clock it until Jose watched me play it yesterday. It plays a lot like the real old Doom games. Like, it doesn't focus too much on like crazy movement. It's not even super fast like the old ones were. It really feels like, even Jerry mentioned, the levels are very flat, like open. It doesn't feel like as, what's the word I'm looking for? As streamlined.
Yeah, I need this. I need to see this.
So I'll show you upstairs. It's like you'll walk into a battlefield of demons, and like instead of it being like a streamlined level where it's like go through the corridor, beat this guy, open the gate, find the key card, it'll put you into this huge field and it's like destroy the 4 warships.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like go around this open thing, find secrets as you go, kill things as you go, but. And to make another point, the devs actually said id Software that when they made Doom 2019, they wanted it to be a run and gun shooter. When they made Doom Eternal, they wanted it to be a jump and shoot shooter. And their intentions for Doom the Dark Ages was to be a stand and fight shooter. So you're really tanky. It's like very fight heavy, not a lot of cover. It's very like quick on your feet. They give you a shield so you can parry attacks and stuff. So... Very fun, very new to the Doom world, but I think it works really well. And then it's also like the first time that they're trying to add lore to the Doom, universe. So they're trying to actually give some weight to the Doom character. And again, can't speak to it too much because I'm pretty early in the game. But one thing I find fucking hilarious is I can't speak too much to it because I don't understand the Doom universe. I'm just like a stupid guy, and I get the themes. But there's basically like an evil guy who wants this artifact, and then there's like these 3 kingdoms that are like in alliance to stop him, right? So 2 of them are like normal Earth kingdoms, because this is all supposed to be like Middle Ages kind of Earth thing. But the third kingdom is like a race of aliens called the Makers, and these are the people that technically have like control of the Doomslayer. So the whole beginning of the game is just the other 2 people on Earth, and they're like, we need the Doomslayer, he's gonna destroy everything, and there's like this fat king alien of the Makers, and every time he's like, they don't need him, he's fine. And then they're like, but sir, if they destroy it, all of the energy for the
aliens
ship
also speak English?
They speak whatever the fuck. But they're like, sir, if they destroy this, we won't have fuel for the ship, right? And then he's like, fine, send them. And that happens like 4 times in the beginning of the game. Like, it's literally the same thing. Or like, but sir, they really need him. Okay, send them in. And that's like the recurring theme of sending in the Doomslayer. But otherwise, metal as fuck. It's super cool. You ride a dragon. There's a mech. I mean, you can't get... Come on. A mech, Dylan. A mech.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that, though. Doom Dark Ages. Can't rate it yet. I'll give it a quick recap and rating next week when hopefully I finish it. But right now, I'll say it's on a pretty nice course for at least an 8.5. So,
okay.
Shout out.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good, yeah.
Before we wrap the podcast, can I mention one last thing?
No.
I can't?
Yeah.
We got to check the score, too.
We are going to do that. And it's actually technically in relation to that.
Okay.
I just wanted to make a quick mention that what a week for Villanova graduates, may I just say.
Oh my god.
Between the New York Knicks getting very close to reaching the Eastern Conference semifinals.
I like how you worded that.
Dante DiVincenzo on the Timberwolves already locking his spot in the Western Conference semifinals.
Yes.
And then Pope Leo, Villanova graduate, first American Pope we've ever had. I mean, so what's going on at this school? Like,
they're what's it called? The I forget what it's called, but like the money that gets sent in or whatever is going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting a lot
They're
of funding.
getting a lot of alumni funds.
Yeah.
But shout outs to Villanova.
Mm-hmm.
Do they call it that? I don't know.
The V.
The V.
The V.
The VN.
You don't even got it. You don't even got it, bro. People know. Just put a V, bro.
What does that translate to? The new village? Is that what's Nova?
Nova's
Probably
like a
new.
place. Nova, yeah. Nova is usually like a place that's a terrarium would be like Terra Nova, like a new place. So I think it's either new or it means like place, like village or like.
It means new town or new settlement. I got it. Don't make me think that I'm stupid, Dylan. Okay.
New village.
I'm decent.
Yeah, you go to the new village.
Fucking all right. Oh yeah. Also, let's before we go into JMSN territory, where the fuck did I put the remote? Before we go into JMSN territory, we're gonna check the score and see if we should be worried or not.
I don't know. Your dad's kind of quiet.
I know that's what's actually I'm scared. But in the meantime, go ahead, guys. Start JMSN. Bam.
I don't know if this was your jam last time. It may well have been, but it's gonna be the new Anamanaguchi song.
That was my jam.
It has to be,
That was
man.
in fact my jam.
If we're getting a full album of that, I'm down with that.
I'm
man.
not gonna lie, that
very
song
good.
is so good.
It's-
If you want,
Yeah,
go
it's a
ahead.
plain song.
You can
It's like a
double it.
plainish song, but I fuck with it. You know,
It's a good song.
I
It's a
think-
very good song.
Not to delve into it because we technically already spoke about it, but I think what I like about it is how oddly well the chiptune works with it.
Yeah.
It's so like under the radar. It really is just like one little melody under it, and then the instruments are what's
Yeah,
carrying.
I like that more.
Also,
to be
shout out
honest.
to Pete, lead
Yeah.
vocalist Pete. Who just saw that one coming?
It works.
I'll catch you in Brooklyn in October. All right.
Very nice. My Am of the Week is 1-800 Paranoid by Cherie Amour. My boys again. Their last, like, 3 of the last 4 singles they made aren't good, but this one's real good. Has, like, a proggy, like, Venetia Fair almost element to it.
What band is this?
Cherie Amour.
Cherie Amour.
Yeah. Has, like, has, like, an EDM part. Has, like, a guitar. Has a rap section, you know. Has it all.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Fire. My jam of the week is going to go to a song called Don't Make Me Change by JMSN.
Oh.
If you don't know who JMSN is, number 3, change that shit right now. This guy is so ridiculously, utterly talented. Multi-instrumentalist, vocalist, visual producer, makes his own music videos. This guy is so insanely talented. I have a previous jam by him, but this song is low-key like one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. It's one of those songs that has like every instrument in it, you know, but it melds really well. So shout-outs. Don't Make Me Change, JMSN.
That made me change.
All right.
Does it have a cowbell?
No.
Fuck.
You got me, Jerry. You got me. There's no oboe either. No, don't,
No hobo.
don't hit me with that shit. All right. Thanks for watching the Joystick Show, episode 240. I like that one. That was a fun one.
I like
Word.
it flowed, you know,
we switched spaces.
We kind of talked about nothing but a lot, you know? Like we
Talk
kind
about
of like it
video
seemed like
games.
early on you were like, what the fuck's happening? But then we're like boom 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 boom
Yeah,
boom.
you know, we figured out. We're champs. We're vets. We've been around.
Easy.
We didn't even mention where Joey was.
Oh,
Well, we
don't know if he's missing in action, bro.
We could do a half truth, half lie because we know that Joey's at a concert. But what concert is Joey at, Dylan?
Katy Perry.
He's at the
I can believe that.
he's at the Latino
Wiggle.
he's at the Latino cover band of the Wiggles.
I believe that too, though,
Wiggles.
Joey. I believe that as well, bro. It's gotta be like the weirdest thing. It's gotta be
I
like
didn't say Wiggles in Spanish.
like, yo, Joey's at the
No idea.
Joey's at the Denzel Curry concert, you know, like some shit like that. That's what I see in my head.
He's at like the NF Machine Gun Kelly.
Joey's at the Danny Brown concert. That's what it is.
NF.
So shout outs to Joey, that's where he is. Shout outs to the Jam, the Bam, the Am, the Slam. Shout outs to the Joystick Show. And shout outs to shout outs. Honestly, shout out people more often.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout outs. Fucking, before this episode ends, Dylan, who you shouting out?
I'm shouting out people who sell fruit. I love
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
fruit, man.
On the side of the road or like?
Hell yeah.
Everyone involved.
All right, yeah.
Everyone involved.
Yeah.
People on the
Shout out
farms,
all of
people
them.
shipping that, people putting it on a boat.
Jerry, who you shouting out?
Who am I shouting out? Damn, that's tough. I was gonna give
call
another
that a whole
service
group.
worker,
You
but
should- yeah.
yeah, it's a whole group.
Yeah.
I gotta shout out a whole new group, man.
No, you shout out one person.
Who am I gonna shout out? Shout out fucking the Steam dude, the Valve dude.
Oh yeah, what's his name? Fuck, I know who you're talking about.
Gabe
4.
Newell?
That's a good sign. I'm gonna shout out train conductors who speak, that you can hear them. You don't have to. What do they say? You know what?
I don't think that's their fault. I think that's a hardware issue.
No, I'm gonna further that. I'm gonna shout out like soft voice conductors. You ever get those guys? They're like, "Hey guys, we're coming down on J Street Metro Tech." Like that's what I'm gonna shout out. So thank you for your service. Before we end, let's see where we're at. And it's a fucking commercial. That's a boner killer.
How did I knew that was gonna happen,
and
bro?
we're gonna fast forward, rewind real quick, and we are currently. Oh, that's a good sign. Timeout. Knicks are high fiving. Score is. Come on. 33. Yes.
Okay.
That's what we want to see. 13-point lead, baby.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for watching the Joystick Shore, and let's go next, baby.
Table
All
just shattered. Can you?
It's another thing we got to replace, man.
Yeah.